What's up? Three, two, one. What is going on? It is your boy Kevin E. the Farm D. I'm just gonna wait until people get here, but let me give a quick intro for those that are on the replay. Um, you know, you're probably one of the biggest questions in pharmacy is it going to be automated? And that is a legit question, especially if you are a new student going into pharmacy school and you're trying to figure out, hey, whether it's worth it. And kind of one of the things that really sparked up the discussion about like this in my head, I guess, is watching Joe Rogan's interview with Andrew Yang, and he is one of the Democratic candidates for 2020, I think, and he's a big proponent of universal basic income. By the way, if you want me to break, if you're interested in this topic, make sure to give this a thumbs up or thumbs down. Doesn't matter to me. Just want some sort of engagement. Hey Steve, what's going on? So in this video, I want to talk about three different things. I'm going to give 3 points about what I think is going to happen with the state of pharmacy and what you can do to either maybe you're just thinking about pharmacy, whether you should still do it. Maybe you haven't gotten into pharmacy school yet. And if you are in pharmacy school, the things to take note about it. I think it's really important to be super, super, super uh, kind of like well informed. You know, what up, Setson? We got the whole crew in here, 7 people in here, 2 likes. Hell yeah, let's go. Okay, so I'm going to be very polarizing. And keep in mind, I am not in pharmacy right now. I just did my CEs. I'm still technically a pharmacist and whatnot. But I have nothing to fear. So, like, I can literally freely speak my mind about this without any fear of retribution or anything like that. So, first thing, will pharmacy be automated? In my opinion, in my absolute opinion, it's not a question of if, it's definitely when. So, I want you to ask yourself this very important question. Imagine 10 to 20 years in the future. Do you think automation is more likely or less likely to happen? Think about all the innovations, maybe like Amazon, right? Have you guys seen the Amazon warehouse, man? They literally have robots running around the factory, kind of fulfilling all the orders. It's all automated. And is it going to be completely gone? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be completely gone, but definitely people. I do not think it's. I think majority of it is definitely going to get automated. And yes, there are different fields of pharmacy, but I'm gonna really focus on what I know best, and that's retail pharmacy. And give my two give my 2 cents. Um, Somebody says I like Andrew Yang, but he needs to build a better case of what he can do rather than talk about robots. He brings up a really great point, though. Anyway, it's not about Andrew Yang, but anyways, they were actually, you know what? During the podcast, Andrew was actually talking about how they can do operation procedures on grapes. They're actually testing it out on grapes, and they do it a lot better with a better accuracy. And I think that's a legit concern, you know, because if you guys don't know, one of the main innovators or one of the main pushers for automation, at least in surgery, is actually China, because they actually have a shortage of healthcare providers, or like especially surgeons. So they have a huge incentive to kind of automate this process as quick as possible. Now, is surgery the same thing as pharmacy? No, it's not. But you can see like these once highly specialized tasks, they're getting automated, right? And like I said, look at the Amazon warehouse. They literally fulfill orders. I could see everything like happening to pharmacy, and I could see in the future, yes, at least at the retail pharmacy level where what I was doing before, all that fulfilling orders and all that sort of stuff can definitely be automated, which leads me to my second point. Before I go on my second point, let me read a few comments. They will be counting pills into bottle. Very easy work. Robot work. Birdman's here. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Hey, guys, hit me up with that like button. I got 12 people in here, only 3 likes, man. So I really want high engagement on my live stream. So, it gets shared to more people. I'm really trying to be a lot more proactive about that. Thank you for a like. Thank you for a like. Appreciate it. Okay, so that leads me to my second point. And by the way, if you guys kind of like this more organized type of live stream, let me know. I actually wrote down a few points. So that's why if it seems like I'm more organized, it is because I am more organized. So great. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the fam. Um, okay, so one of the things I said was like, okay, is it gonna be completely automated? uh Not completely, but let's pretend. Okay, let's pretend part of pharmacy is going to be automated. What exactly is going to be automated? So one of the best roles for automation, one of the best like things to be automated are really repetitive, mundane tasks. Especially, this is the important part. Especially if there's a high, if there's a consequence, if there's a high consequence for error or high price to pay for an error. So, for example, you give a wrong medication. Maybe you give a patient with a sulfa allergy, some Bactrim or something like that. They go into anaphylactic shock and die. Those are moments where it's like, oh shit, we want to make sure that we have good systems in place to take care of those moments. Or even transmission of data, right? It's so easy for a pharmacist to just kind of, not overlook. It's not out. You got to realize it's not out of ill intent, but especially in like the retail community setting, such a high paced environment, such high stress, and you're literally churning out prescriptions. I think I calculated it. I was in the bathroom, so I don't know if it's completely accurate, but let's pretend that, I don't know, 100 people wanted a 5-minute consultation. That would literally, if you calculate the time, let me just calculate it right now. 100 people times, and you do a 3-minute consultation. That is literally 300 minutes. That is 5 hours, guys. And a lot of these pharmacies are churning out high scripts, and that's only consultation. That's not even calling doctors or anything like that, like verification or anything like that. So you can see how busy, how high stress this working environment is. So when it comes to like verification, a lot of the times, what do pharmacists do? Oh, right now, they get the order from the technician, right? So the technician manually types it up. Maybe it's from a fucking fax machine. Why the fuck are we using fax, guys? It's 2019. Why the fuck? We got blockchain. We got all these different technologies. Why are we? Anyways, it's not about fax. Anyways, technician types it. Sometimes, depending what chain you work for, there's a pre-verification stage where the pharmacist will review what the technician typed, and it moves on. And then there's like a dispensing phase where technician or pharmacist will count out the meds, pour them in the vial, check it. Now there's a final verification phase where you take a look, see if the pills are matching, and also see if there's any like contraindications, or this is more the clinical judgment part, right? That comes in. Okay, everything good? All right. Throw it in a bag, and sometimes there's a final check beyond that too, right? That's the general sense of pharmacy. I just want to give you the overhead view. There's a lot of things that can go wrong actually within those, from what I described. Thank you for the extra like, appreciate it. Um, but you can see like, okay, guess what? Typing fucking sucks. Maybe there's a better way to transmit data. And maybe if somebody drops off a prescription, maybe there's going to be some sort of scanning type of software. We can already do that with our computers these days. That could definitely happen, right? So on the data entry part, yeah, that could definitely be automated. And plus, there's better technologies to exchange data, right? And I feel like definitely checking the pills and stuff, that is so archaic. They were saying like on Andrew Yang's like podcast with Joe Rogan, they were saying that, hey, they were saying that radiology is actually a dying profession because robots can actually see and differentiate the colors better, the gray contrast colors a lot better than the human eye, and with a lot higher accuracy. You know, so it's really, really, I guess it's really interesting to see that. So transmission of data, counting pills. Come on, like when you're counting pills, that shit like why are we doing that? It can completely be automated, right? So, anyways, that's the second point. Those are the areas that I see within like retail pharmacy that I see happening. And plus, like with ordering, that can also be automated in the future. Right now, maybe not. Maybe not right this moment, but I definitely see it in 10 to 20 years. Let me go back. Let me go back into the chat. It's getting fucking blown up. So I go into Walgreens, my interaction with my pharmacist, because of possible interactions with my medicine. You can't get that 24/7 with your doctor if your doctor didn't go with you. Good evening. Via Click says it's a troll again. So many trolls. So many trolls. So many trolls. Let's get rid of this shit. Let's get rid of this shit. Hide this. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe some parts of pharmacy will be automated, but not everything. Awesome. Cool. All right, guys. Anyways, and that goes into my last point, right? So, like, dude, if you were a corporate company, wouldn't you want to automate like your whole entire process too? Like, wouldn't you want to do that? Because think about it. No 401k. You don't have to pay out 401k. There's no labor laws, right? Forget about customer complaints. There's just like user UX experience, right? And there's like probably no lawsuits really. You're going to decrease because of decreased human error, right? So like in my mind, it just like makes freaking sense that all this shit is going to be automated, man. So, leads me into my last point, right? Or last 2 points, right? So let's say, hey Kevin, uh, dude, I'm in pharmacy already. What the fuck do I do? Well, ideally, if you're in pharmacy school, maybe look for something else. Like honestly, maybe look for something else and not go into it, right? Because I see so many parents like pushing the put like one of my really close friends. Her parents were yelling at her, pushing her toward this field, but honestly, do I see a huge benefit from it? Like a huge ROI from it? Because let's take a look at the data. It's a lot harder for some depends what area. It can be really hard for you to get a job, right? Pay is going down because it's getting more and more saturated, at least in the more concentrated areas. Sure, you can go bums fuck nowhere. Who gives a fuck, right? No one cares about it. No one want like, dude, you want to live in a highly desirable area, right? The conditions are things are just getting a lot worse with pharmacy. So maybe it's a good time not to go in it and not to fucking lie to the next generation and tell them, hey, go into pharmacy, go into pharmacy, go into pharmacy. I think we're approaching that point where it's like, well, why are we going into this? Is this short term? Are we thinking about short term pain versus long term gain? Because I look at opportunity costs and the potential like not margin. We're not talking about like profit margin and stuff, but what I'm talking about is the potential opportunity for growth. And I really think pharmacy has kind of hit its ceiling for it. Like, and it's just like investing. You want to go into something that that has plenty of growth, plenty of opportunity. You know what I mean? So radiology is definitely not dying. It's basically pathology and technology form. You can't replace a clinician knowledge of medicine with machine picking out colors. Well, I would say at least diagnostically, like yeah, it's definitely going to get automated because I don't know that much about it to be honest with you. But if it's pattern recognition, for sure, that is an opportunity where it can get totally replaced. But even Andrew Yang, I don't know how true his facts were, but he was saying that a lot of doctors were actually residents are actually shying away from that area. So yeah. Cognitive tasks will be automated for sure. Wow, more trolls. Okay, go eat a dick. What else? By the way, it's really easy to block people, dude. Like, it's so much easier with the new YouTube function. All I gotta do is just like press Alt and click, dude. Gotta go. Just go learn that code, guys. God, yeah, dude, I can't believe that whole thing was blowing up too. I think it's like, dude, we have to adapt with the times as well. Like, we can't stay stagnant and stay like that's the thing with long term learning. Like, dude, in pharmacy school, I don't know about you guys, but they always emphasize lifelong learning. And so, dude, we have to keep on adapting and learn different high income skills. Maybe that's learning how to program and code. Maybe that's learning how to like do sales or marketing, because those, and this leads me to the last point. What can you do? Either learn a high income skill, right? Or learn or get into something that is really relationship intensive. Because here's the thing that will never change: humans like to buy from humans for the most part, right? Like, sure, there's funnels and stuff like marketing funnels that you can buy from, that you can like buy products from and stuff, and you might really trust it. But at the end of the day, most humans like to talk to other humans to be motivated, inspired, because you know what the true need for other humans is? They want to feel like they're understood and like they're part of something, like somebody actually cares. So I was like looking at a bunch of the residency programs and stuff just now, right? And I think like things like AmCare, like I think like if you can spend quality time with your patients and have like some quality counseling time with your patients, that perhaps might not get automated. And I also see like specialties, right? If you're highly specialized, I don't think that you're going to get automated anytime soon as well, right? So for example, let's say if you do a PGY2, and I literally have the ASHP site up, but if you're specialized in oncology or maybe uh, pediatric pharmacy or something like that, I don't know that much about everything, but I don't foresee that being. I foresee like, hey, if you're a generalist, guess what? Automated, right? And I also see like a huge opportunity with informatics as well. So I think like if you're trying to do informatics or something, join the robots, bro. So yeah, that those were kind of my thoughts about kind of the state of pharmacy. And I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to really watch this next generation go through pharmacy, because I'm not a doom and gloom person, but I think like if you're planning to go into pharmacy with the expectation that it's going to be a rapidly growing field, and that everything is you're going to see the same growth as like the early days that the older pharmacists went through, you got to understand the context of everything, because things are changing. Like, technology is changing. Like, blockchain is being implemented into a lot of different fields, and there is the threat of like not terminators and shit, but like there's a threat of automation, man. And I think it's an important thing to consider, especially as we keep on evolving at like we keep on evolving over and over again. So yeah, anyways, let's see what the chat is saying. By the way, if you got any comments right now, please put it in the chat. I'm going to read out a lot of the comments and stuff, as long as it's not like fucking trolls and shit, which there's probably tons of trolls. I don't give a fuck. I get engagement either way. um I agree. Via Click says, I agree. Pharmacists are saturated and feel like technology can replace lots of work that they can do. Big pharma is also screwed in the next 10 years with all these progressive ideas in politics. There is a Patrick says there is a hold on, let me block this. There's a petition with 12K signers to stop opening pharmacy schools. Laugh my ass off. I mean, here's the thing, right? Yeah, there's a saturation of the pharmacy schools, but to be honest, fuck these pharmacy schools. Like, dude, we have to make better informed decisions too. Like, it's on the students as well, especially like these days with the internet. If you live in America, I don't know how freely accessible the internet is, but like, dude, you just watch. There's so many miserable pharmacists. All you gotta do is like pharmacy job, like what's the word for fulfillment? I can't think of job satisfaction, right? Dude, there's so many posts on Reddit and whatnot that say I hate pharmacy, yet people still go into it, and they're going in with the data that is such a successful career based off of what it was before. You know, I was actually checking out this girl. Her name was Millennial Mayday. I actually sent her a message too, but I liked her post on her article on like why I regret being a pharmacist, and it started getting a lot of views. I loved it. It was so accurate, and she's like literally struggling. She pays all this fucking debt for a degree that for a career that she doesn't like. Maybe she's not miserable, but she doesn't like it. And I was like, damn, dude, that's how they get us. And you know what? Shame on these schools because you know what? They've been increasing their prices for tuition over and over and over again, and it's just like, okay, that's fine. If you're a private institution, do whatever the fuck you want. But if you're gonna take, like, I agree with Andrew on this one. Like, if you're gonna take government money, well, there has to be some justification because it's going on to the public. How fucked is it that if you like fuck up in life, your school loans follow you forever, man? That is so wrong. It is so fucking evil, bro. I do not fuck with that shit. Like it's not a good time. They're using automated pattern recognition for EKG readings for almost every hospital. Gives diagnosis, but it's not always correct. A doctor has to double check the readings. Of course, like yes, doctors will have to double check the readings, but think about the workload that it helps relieve. And we should be happy that automation is happening. Automation is actually a really good thing, like society wise. It sucks for the people that are in it, but society wise, it's really great. You have to realize, yes, automation is not perfect, but it's getting better and better and better. Think about like when Siri first came out. That shit sucked. I don't know about now because I left Apple, but even Google Voice, right? Like that shit is so accurate, man, half the time. Like compared to a few years ago. And you gotta realize these are systems that are constantly learning. Maybe they're not there yet, but imagine 10, 20, 30 years. Like let's look at the long-term play for a second, right? Guarantee, like I bet they'll be so much better than they are right now. Is California BFE? I don't know what BFE is. Still in demand. Also, radiology is top field that everybody wants in the medical field. I'm a med student. It's one of the most competitive fields due to lifestyle. Interesting. So cool, man. Thanks via click for that information. Um, Joey Rich says lit. Why are you so handsome? What a troll, bro. I'm gonna block you. No, we got my homie Joey Rich. He talks a lot about Facebook marketing and actually not Facebook marketing, a digital marketing agency. So if you're interested in high ticket skills or you want to implement digital agencies in your business, go follow him, man. That's shameless plug. Oh my god. More streams or more trolls. Delete this shit. What else? I think pharmacy assistants will be automated first. I don't get how teachers are underpaid, but tuitions cost so much. I think that's more at the public school level. I don't know if that's true at the college and university levels. Like, I straight up don't know. Pikachu, Roshan Pikachu 17 was like, I'm applying to a different farm school right now. Cod says, "How are you, man?" Like, dude, I'm fired up, man. Like, I literally just organized all this like content for you guys, just like a quick shot, like just really working on my live stream delivery, and kind of just providing really dope ass content, man. I just want to really connect with you guys and just start sharing more. I know I haven't been really editing videos, but it's for a good reason. I'm in the middle of a lot of different things right now, so yeah. And I caveat emptor if you are applying to pharmacy school, like dude, have an exact, like I literally mentor this. Hey, am I against, by the way, I don't want to give off the impression am I against pharmacy, but no, I'm just a huge advocate that pharmacy just needs to change. Things cannot run the same way. And it's stupid to think that we're gonna go things are gonna things were the same are were pretty much the same as in the 80s, as in the 90s, as in the 2000s, and as we go into 2020, things are going to be a lot different, guys. Like, think about how much our world has changed within the last 20 years. I think it's things gotta change, bro. you know I graduated in 2014, but I regret wasting a chance to enter medical school. Hey, I don't know. Like, honestly, like, okay, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but there is a high suicide rate within, I think, almost all healthcare professions. You might have to Google that, but even if that's the case, I'm not surprised. This is what usually happens, right? So usually, if you come from an Asian family like mine, what will happen is that, hey, your parents or social pressure tells you, hey, you need to go to college. Great. So you go to college and you major in something like bio because you don't know what the fuck you want to do in life. Oh, well, I'm actually displacing like my own path, right? So I went into biochemistry, right? Go into biochemistry and you're like, fuck, I have all this debt. I don't want to be pipetting all day and I don't want to be making $40,000 an hour $40,000 per year, right? Paying off this huge loan. So what do? You look in the healthcare fields. Okay, so you might look into being a doctor or pharmacist or PA or nurse or something else to kind of further your education just because you got to pay off this debt. Well, if you end up in a career like pharmacy or even med school, it's quite a bit of commitment. And like, when you hear about these loan debts that a lot of doctors have, man, we're talking about like six figure debt easily. So, okay, if you're like me in pharmacy, and let's not even count doctors right now. If you're in pharmacy, maybe you come out with what, maybe 180, close to 200K debt, factor in interest as well. Man, so that means you're paying almost like $3,000 in student loans per month if you go the 10-year route. That's a lot of money. Factor in like maybe you make $10,000 per 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 month, and you take home about 6,000, right? So that leaves you with $3,000, right? Like, people hate their jobs and they can't find another way to kind of supplement that income. It's a huge burden. So people are like, fuck, I spent all this time working to for this position that I really thought I would love, but every day I'm getting yelled at. I never feel appreciated. I feel overworked. I feel stressed out. Dude, there's no other way. So people blow their brains out, man. It happens. It truly does happen, man. That's the scary part. And I feel like, and this is not only for pharmacists. It happens to even doctors as well because they're in higher debt, right? And keep in mind, this is like, I don't have studies for this and shit, but this is anecdotal, right? So yeah, um, I'm in med school. I'm done next year. It's not glamorous at all. It's taking so long to be done. You should consider PA school. It's a great career. Only 2 years to make 100K plus. That's great. Yep, I'll have 250K in debt by the time I'm done. We're hiring. So. I'm in RN. It's a great career if you're compassionate enough. And I think, like, hey, don't get me wrong. If you guys truly love your profession, hey, go do it, right? But I'm just saying, like, if you're in it for the money, or if you're in it for because somebody told you or somebody guilt tripped you for it, don't fucking do it, man. Don't do it. It's like a losing proposition. And here's the thing, I'll be honest with you. So I think with like pharmacy too, for me, I just realized it was just such something normal, right? Like, dude, I wanted a true challenge in my life because I want eat, sleep, and live high performance, bro. Like, I don't want to just live an ordinary life, what everybody else is doing. If you want to have an ordinary life, hey, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with a normal life, man. But for me, like, I want to do something so like crazy, and I really want to kind of change the landscape. I want to show other pharmacists or other healthcare professionals or other people who want the traditional path that you can do something better. You can rewrite your story every single freaking time, you know? And like if you feel like deep down inside you're always meant for something bigger, and you don't do it, shame on you, man. That's a huge shame because you could be impacting so many people. And that's when I realized for me, like, are my actions in line with, like, if and what I say and what I'm saying actually in line with my actions, right? And I can truthfully say, like, when I was a pharmacist, no, but I feel so fulfilled these days, man. Like, it's so crazy. I'm not telling everybody quit farm. Like, dude, I'm literally a pharmacy mentor for a bunch of pharmacy students, and I help them every single day. Hey, how do I reach these residency directors, right? How do I reach these how do I reach these directors? How do I get my dream job? I'm good at that. I'm good at relationship building, and I help a lot of my mentees go down that route. But I'm just advocating, man. Guys, really think about your decision going into pharmacy. I highly advise you guys to talk to other people going forward before pulling that huge debt, like going into huge debt, putting all this work in, because you are also sacrificing 3 to 4 years of your life after college, right? So honestly, as a doctors you can choose as a doctor you can choose your hours. You can choose to work 3 times a week if you want. Is it worth it? I think job security is always there and you can enjoy your life after. Well, I also have to say, like, pharmacy is very different too, because we don't have the luxury of that. Like, a lot of time you work really shitty hours. You work There's no life balance like in retail pharmacy. Like, and I know there's gonna be that one person like, I do, like, I get all that shit. No, like, dude, I'm talking about most other pharmacists, because like half of them are my friends, right? So a lot of them have to work holidays. A lot of them have to work weekends or every other weekends. It's it's not the end. It's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a sweatshop type of job. But when you put so much work into something, you want it to really pay off, right? You want it to pay off, and if you do that sort of stuff, like, you want to enjoy it. I'll tell you this: I work like I probably right now I work. This week I've been kind of slacking a bit, but I usually work about 12, 13, 14 hour days, man. And I love every single moment of it. It feels so great. I work most holidays right now, because I love it, right? It's something that challenges me every day. But when I was in pharmacy, I hated that shit. Like, dude, it's a really toxic environment, and people don't realize how toxic it is until you actually work in it. Like, I don't think I'm an outlier. If you guys have had a toxic experience working in the pharmacy, let me know in the chat right now. Right? You wonder why your pharmacist is always pissed off, is because people are always yelling at your pharmacist, right? There's so many demands put on your pharmacist. And guess what? You might be like, hey, it's a job you signed up for. No, that's the thing, right? The expectations and the reality of pharmacy is so different. Why do you think that video on reality versus expectations blew up on my channel and Matt's channel? It's because the reality and expectations were totally different. You talked to a lot of different people. They went in it to really help people and stuff. But like when they get in there, it's just like, fuck, man, like, this isn't anything I expected. You'll hear that time over and time over and time over again. And it's just like, these days, like, there's no excuse, man. Like, you can literally reach anyone. You can literally reach out to me. I get questions on pharmacy all the time, man. I can't answer all of them anymore, but I do my best to, like, when people reach out to me, so just want to give you those thoughts, right? Kev for president. I don't think so. I don't think I would want to be a prez, brah. But there's too many people that go into these professions for the money. But man, if you don't love giving your time and energy, it can be a struggle and isn't fair to patients. I love my patients. Like, my patients still talk to me at my original pharmacy, man. Don't get me wrong. I love patient interaction, but at what cost do you want to do, like, serving these patients, man? I think, like, right now it's just really it's a very interesting time to be a pharmacist, right? We're battling this opioid crisis, so we're getting a lot of the heat from it, not from like the media per se. I think more the prescribers are getting more of the shit from it, but like literally front lines, we get so much shit. We have to play part-time cop because we can't fill any fake scripts and stuff. There's a legal changing legal environment. I'm just like, I'm not saying this to bitch. I'm just trying to give you full context of what goes on behind the pharmacy. Literally, you have to manage your inventory and take care of all the business financials as well. You're wearing so many damn hats, and we're not even talking about managing or any of that sort of stuff. And people don't value you. Like, let's be honest, a lot of people at the pharmacy don't value at face value. You have to build a trust. So like, when it comes to any relationship building, it always goes down in this: you first know someone, and then you like someone, and then you trust someone, right? With the current perception of like doctors, where do you think they fall? No, like, or trust. Usually they're down at trust. They're very trusted. People might not like them actually, right? People might not like doctors, but typically they trust a lot. There's a huge authority, like authoritative frame for prescribers and stuff like that as well. Oh, Spy says go to trade school and technical schools if college isn't for you. College isn't for everyone. Uh, I honestly trust my pharmacist over a doc when it comes to anything med related for sure. Um, and that's great. I think like it's mixed, right? It's really, really mixed. Like, of course, like there's people that really do trust their pharmacists because they've been exposed to pharmacists so often. I mean, out of all the healthcare professions, who do they see the most? Who's the most accessible? Pharmacists half the time, right? So I'm not surprised about that. But then there's a lot of people too. Like I saw at front lines, they don't respect their pharmacists at all. You know, it happens. You can't win over everyone. That's part of dealing with general public, you know. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna head out. Always good seeing these streams, man. Good luck, man. Appreciate it. Will pharmacy employment be saturated in retail, and will clinical be a better route for job security? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think like honestly, like I a lot of my friends. Oh shit, I shouldn't do that. A lot of my friends are actually. This will be a last point. So if there's anything else that you guys want in the stream, let me know right now because I'm going to be ending it after this question. If there's no more questions, all right. And make sure to hit that like button up so other future pharmacists can actually see this, and so that maybe you might save a life that for someone who is going to be trapped under debt with pharmacy. So give that value back. Anyways, so as far as saturation in a clinical setting, I don't know, to be honest with you. Like I have no idea. But I talked to a lot of my friends, and a lot of them are actually kind of miserable too within the clinical like hospital route and stuff like that. I think like it goes off to Maslow. Is it Maslow? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's the hierarchy of needs. So like after you get your basis like fundamentals down, like people feel unfulfilled. Why is that? If we follow something called the Ikigai model, the Ikigai model is this old Japanese theory, like model for happiness, right? Or reason to get out of bed. It contains four things, right? This is the Japanese model for a happy, fulfilling life, right? So it's like first thing, what you're good at, right? So you have to be good at it. What you can get paid for, so that's the bottom one, right? What you think the world needs, and I'm not talking about like marketplace. I'm talking about like uh, more kind of woo-wee, like do we need more compassion? Do we need more realness or whatever, right? And the top one is what what you can get paid for, what the world needs, what you're good at, and what you love. And at the intersection of all four things, like think about it as a Venn diagram, right? At the intersection, that's your ikigai, that's your reason for living, right? So I feel like a lot of pharmacists they have like, hey, you can get paid for pharmacy, check, right, in the hospital. Hey, the market needs help, like right now the current market, it needs pharmacists in that role, right? Otherwise, why would the hospital even pay for that position, right? So check. And then the third one is, are they good at it? Most likely they are, because if you go through pharmacy school, you learn the essential skills, and it's just drilling over and over and over again. When you're there long enough, you'll be good at anything, right? So those three things are checked. But you know what the last thing is missing? You don't love it. You don't love it. Like, why? Maybe there's no significance in what you do. Maybe you don't see the bigger picture. Maybe you're not interacting with people that you love, like that. Maybe you're not spending time with people. Maybe you're not being challenged, right? Those are all important questions, right? So, yeah. A lot of my friends, like I said, are pretty miserable actually in the hospital too. They were happy at first because they were out of retail, but I mean, you can't be happy just escaping your whole life, escaping things that you don't like. You have to be filling your cup too, you know. So, anyways, I'm in Maher Naher Hamad Hamoud says, I'm in pharmacy school right now, but after hearing you, I'm having all these second thoughts. Is it really that bad if I just want a decent paying job in the future? My point is that my point is that we don't know the future fate of pharmacy. Things are changing so much. And like I said, like if you're already in it, you might as well finish it at this point. But like really think about either a getting specialized or going to a field like informatics or something like that if that's something you want to do, right? um yeah, like because I'm telling you, like long-term play, it's highly, dude, I think it's going to get automated. Is it going to be 100% automated? I don't think so. Maybe 90%. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers. I'm not a specialist in this too, right? I'm just going based off of what the facts I see, the data I see, the things that other experts are saying. So, and I'm just kind of trying to correlate it with pharmacy. So that's why I brought in the conversation earlier about Andrew Yang and stuff, and talking about all this, like the importance of universal basic income and stuff. It's really interesting, really interesting stuff, man. You ever consider helping the programs automate? Dude, I have no doubt that the programmers will like AI will probably be able to write basic code in like the next, I don't know, they're saying like 5 to 10 years. I would not doubt it, right? Help them program pharmacy AI. Dude, go into informatics, bro. Join the robots, aka Brian Fung, man. Especially with pharmacy shootings, pharmacy has changed. Yeah, like, dude, it's pretty crazy. Like, a lot of pharmacy robberies, a lot of pharmacy harassment. There's a lot of pharmacy, like, dude, people do crazy shit. Like, I've had my card keyed and stuff like that. Who knows? Was it over a narcotic like that I did not fill? Perhaps, right? There's like, I don't want to say there's crazy people in the pharmacy, man. Like, I mean, they have, some of them have issues, man, and it's just like that's kind of what we sign up for. But I feel like there's definitely an endangerment too, especially with opioid crisis and people like robbing pharmacies for lean and stuff. It's like really crazy. Do you think college today is just a status symbol thing? Of course I do. I'm like very actually kind of against colleges. I think it's the biggest scam and ripoff out there, dude. Like, I truly believe anything that you want to learn, you can probably learn online these days, right? Unless you're going to a highly specialized profession, and that's like the OG mindset, right? I mean, to me, like that, like I don't think college is worth it for most people, right? If you're in it for, especially just for the money, there's so many different ways to make money these days, right? Learn a high income skill, learn like marketing, learn sales, learn something, right? Learn a business model, right? Where you like, here's the thing, college is safe for a reason. It will always be there for you. Like if you want to go back to college when you're 30 years old, I guarantee college will be there. I feel like I feel like less people going forward will continue go college, because I feel like there's a, and here's the thing, I'm a highly like I don't want to say I'm highly educated, but I've gone through the ringer. Like I've gotten my doctorate degree in pharmacy. Like I've been through everything. And do I think it was totally worth it? Sure, the experiences and all that sort of stuff, but let's talk about money wise and security wise. If I spent that same money into my own business, wow, like dude, I would have learned so much more. I would have failed so much quicker. I would have taken an OG apprenticeship with like someone like Dan Pena or something like that, over college, and I could have went like maybe 10 times over, right? Having like a mentor who actually does what you want to do, so much more valuable. Like if you want to go into a business world, you know. Oh, it's a society asking, well, were you well off enough to hang out with 4 years with the other well off people? Well, I feel like I mean like I guess I don't know. I don't think I think like college is a pretty normal thing. I think like most average people can afford it, right? Even like if you're low income, you could probably afford going to a community college as well. You know what I mean? Like what the heck are you going to do with a degree in sociology or almost not anything unless you're going to super specialize? Exactly, right? Is it worth it? I don't think so. Like I said, right? Like, dude, I love philosophy. I love, well, not philosophy. I love like psychology, man. Psychology is like the basis of everything I do. But would I ever get a degree in it? Probably not. I feel like it's important, but I don't think it's like for most people, I don't think it's worth it. And that's just my opinion, man. People literally shut the door and won't give you a chance if you're just a high school grad. I think that's changing though. I think that's the old vanguard, bro. I think there's a lot of people who think like me who went through the ringer who are just like, this is not worth it. This is just throwing people into more debt. It's making other people's pockets a lot fatter, man. And it's just like, you know what? Like I feel like this next generation is just gonna walk away from college, man. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Could I be wrong? For sure I could. But I have a really, really strong feeling because if I don't see the value and that's me coming out of college, right? Then why would someone like if people like me are just speaking the truth about it, then why would you and here's the thing, like going to college is the normal thing. It's the easy thing to do actually. Like it's not that hard. Yes, like going through farm school was challenging, right? You have to put in work, but think about like all the hard things that you can do in life. It's not the hardest thing that you can do ever, right? Going even like I don't even think going to med school like and doing all that is it the hardest thing that you could ever do? Not really. I think like the most hardest thing I've ever really done 10 times over is just like starting out a business, man. It tests me psychologically. There's a fear. Like, dude, it's really, really hard. Like, it's really, really hard. I cannot even explain like how much shit I have to go through. Like undoing that programming that I learned from school, how I had to perfect everything. Like, dude, school will set you up for failure. And it's like you meet these really, really smart people, like really, really smart people, but they can never start a business. Why? Because they overthink everything. They're in school mode and they're conditioned to not fuck up, not make mistakes. And that's a complete opposite thing you do in business. And it's like it's so emotional where you gotta really know yourself inside and out. You have to consistently not only improve your skills, you gotta improve your EQ, you gotta improve so many different things. That's why I love it because every single day I'm fucking drinking through a fire hose and I'm just trying to think, how do I solve this problem? How do I solve this problem? And guess what? When I make it big, give so much back to the world. And that's when my action like what I say is in alignment with my actions, right? Like a lot of people have like this perception that rich people are assholes. But think about, hey, if you had a good heart, I mean, there's rich assholes and there's poor assholes, right? And if you had like I don't know, $100 million left around, think about how much good you could do for the world. You know, that's what I think about every single day. Is it could I do more than just a one-on-one interaction as a pharmacist? Fuck yeah, I could. I could literally change so many kids' lives. And if I wanted to send them off to college, I could. I probably wouldn't, but you know, like I'd probably create like a X-Men for entrepreneurs, because I feel like, like it's tough. There's not a lot of positive people in this world. People judge you for shit. People think you're fucking weird because you're going outside the norm, man. It's not like what I'm doing is not a normal thing, man. Like I know it. It's not a normal thing at all, right? Aren't we all guilty of doing this? No. But if hiring, you have to pay more attention to college grad because the signals higher value, even though you allow all this. No, here's the thing, Az. Like I'm going to challenge you on that because I currently I technically I kind of do like hiring, I guess, right? If I want people to work on my team, and guess what? You know what's really funny? The most educated people actually fucking fail time and time over again. I actually have kids who dropped out of college, like they were in college and dropped out, really smart kids, but they can execute. They're smart enough to they're really smart, right? I don't think college means anything. It just means that hey, you stayed in this program for 4 years. Maybe it might indicate like, hey, you can go through some shit, but it has very little like correlation to the real world. And guess what? Like, dude, I think real life experience is so much more important, right? Going that process of, let me give you a good example, right? Take take two people. All right. So imagine it's your first time having sex, right? Okay, you got person A. They spend 4 years going on Pornhub, maybe reading Karma Sutra every single night, and they're really educated. They know everything, like all positions, all that sort of stuff. And then, huh, you get someone who just does it all the time. Maybe they took a PUA, maybe they like learned from their brother how to pick up women or whatever, and just have been boning like crazy, right? Who do you think is better at having sex? I know it's kind of like, dude, if you got kids, like fucking hide them. Oh well, it's too late. But who do you think would be better, more experienced? Obviously, the person that does it rather than just mental masturbation all the time, right? So yeah. I'm actually a psych nurse and went to my diploma program with the psych degrees. Raising 5 kids and starting my business is much more difficult than when I laid out for me in my nursing program. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and I want to be able to provide a life that I can never provide with my kids, man. Like, or provide a life that I can never like do with pharmacy. It's very like trapping. Danny, I'm so glad that you're setting a great example for your kids, man. Like great example, like by starting up a business, by showing them to challenge yourself. Like, dude, kids learn quick, man. I learned quick. Like I learned like when my parents were like raising me, like us as kids, we catch on quick. I knew that my dad was kind of a hypocrite, like growing up that maybe I didn't know the word, but I knew he was like a hypocrite. Like he would tell me to do shit, but would never do it himself. So I didn't really respect him that much growing up. You know what I mean? So yeah. Any thoughts on Bernie? Not really. I don't know, man. I like politics and stuff and all that sort of stuff. I don't really have much opinion on. I would say I'm more of a centrist. Like I agree with a lot, almost everything that Joe Rogan talks about. um, I agree. College is not for everyone, but I think saying the next generation is going to ditch college is a bit far fetched. I don't think so. I think like if you take a look at let's take a look at the data, take a look at the Google Analytics. Think about like all the search inquiries of is college worth it? Think about all the alternative type of search inquiries for Amazon FBA or Shopify drop shipping or all these new business models or how do I start a business? Dude, it's actually going on the rise, if anything. It's so much easier. Like there's a lot more business models these days that you can start up with very little capital compared to a brick and mortar. So, I mean, like, dude, like Google Analytics, man. Like, I do keywords all the time, right? And the keywords tell me that, hey, people are growing, like people are searching these terms more and more and more frequently. So people are looking for alternative ways. Does that mean that they're gonna just like throw their hands up and be like, fuck college? No, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I don't think it's as far fetched as you think it is, as it is. The guy reading Karma Sutra every day would would own. You go town like a Harvard man. College has its place for the emeralds and some newbies who want to get into a technical field like engineering. Well, here's the great thing. Like honestly, every rich person needs lawyers and accountants, but that's because they're so like they're so ingrained into the system, and I think a lot of their value actually doesn't really come necessarily from it doesn't come necessarily from their education. It comes from the experience. You know what I mean? So I think that's the thing. It's totally hard starting this business thing. If I didn't have a YouTube, I would have given up a long time ago. Thank you. That means a lot. College is on its way out for sure. Would college be worth it if it made free? I mean, people don't care about stuff that they don't have to pay for, man. I you get what you pay for, man. And if there's no skin in the game, I've taken so many damn courses. If there's no skin in the game, people just don't take it seriously, man. Like it just it doesn't matter, right? Anyways, guys, I talked for 56 minutes. I didn't think I would talk this long, but I'm gonna bounce. It was a great time streaming with you guys. If you guys want me to talk about any particular type of if you guys want me to talk about any particular type of what's that called topics, let me know in the comments too, and yeah, we'll just go from there. And guys, I'm just gonna take a quick picture. If you guys don't know, I've actually these last 2 days I've actually been kind of documenting my day on Instagram. It's really cool. People seem to like it. I've been getting a lot of responses on it, man. So I'm just gonna take a quick picture. What the fuck? Um, Spice gives me a heart. Appreciate it, man. I know I have a lot of HTC people in here, so I just want to just thank you guys for really just liking this liking the stream too. Like because at the end of the day, you guys don't have to be here, and I'm always just so grateful that I have great people like you who watch me time and time again and subscribe. Like at the end of the day, you don't have to do it. Even for all the trolls too that come here every single week and bomb my chat, thank you for improving my engagement. I love it. So thank you, man. Thank you guys. I will talk to you guys later. Kevin Yee is out. Peace, mother people.